So today I thought of talking about Project Brotjäger because it's been almost a year since we started building it, and this was a vehicle that we didn't build altogether, meaning it got driven. It was used by the owner as we were doing a lot of the major components to it. But I would say it went through most of the stages of restoration that we would have and offer. So just to put into context what I mean by you're still driven by the owner, I think Joshua managed to clock about 3,000 kilometers in the year. Doesn't seem like a lot, but keep in mind this car had its interior done, it was painted, we had custom wheels made, we did brake system, we did engine work, gearbox work, a tune. So a lot of things were done to it. All the mechanical bits were done to it. We're talking about subframe drop, replacing all the bushes. It's a 2009 E92 M3. So it's 17 years old and things obviously old. The important thing about the car, what I liked about it was it's a good base. The previous owner didn't really muck around too much with it. So a lot of things are factory. And today we're just doing what we're doing is people call it in-car entertainment. And I generally keep this towards the last because after we have settled everything, we just got the entire AC system built in. And even while doing that, we found like the radiator fan was not in good shape. But it was expected, it's made mainly of plastic, and after 17 years, plastics don't do so well. What I try to tell people regarding all these cars, there's a very good abundance of knowledge available on forums, things that can go wrong, things that should be addressed. Like this is the S65 engine, so there are a lot of known mechanical failures or not known powertrain failures that can happen to it, and there's a workarounds from it, there's upgrades to it. So there's no reason not to do it if you're planning to own and keep and maintain a car like this. The air conditioning system that we worked on, same thing. Everything that we replaced, whatever that we replaced on it and serviced it, everything was original components. And the beauty about it is still being able to get until today. However, keep in mind, it's a car that is older, so when you run the part numbers, sometimes there's a new upgraded part for it. That's what you should be using, or that's what you should be going towards, and the newer part number. And thankfully for this car, when it comes to the wire harness, the harness itself is pretty solid, but as any of these cars, the connectors start to fail. So those are things that you have to do as well. With the audio that we are doing, what we are trying to do is still try to keep it, not to say factory, but factory fitted. In this case, it would be considered like a kosong spec or low spec audio in the vehicle, not as in what the vehicle came with. So it doesn't have an amplifier. It only has the Bluetooth module at the back. What we did do previously was, even when we first got the car, was put in an Avin head unit. Look, the only reason of putting in a head unit like this, I may not have bothered also putting in a head unit, but the only reason we put this in was because of the Apple CarPlay. If I would have done it my way, I would have just maintained that head unit, run what we're going to do now, a DSP. We're still putting in a DSP to it, to even this system, but just run a DSP to it, have amplifiers put the speakers in, and be done with. The reason being said is the Avin head unit does have a bit of bugs. Not sure if it's just the model that we got, but I've written an email with them to see if there's anything we can do to rectify it. It does hang from time to time, and I'm not sure it's very easy to reset, but the thing is it's not as good as factory. You tend to still have to do it. I switch on and switch off the car, but no big deal. Another thing with the E92 M3 is it does have a lot of carbon bits on it, and carbon just doesn't age well. So a lot of even the trim that was in the car, we saw spec for a normal regular silver trim original. The side mirror, wing mirror had a carbon cover on it, and even that we're just going back to a regular cover. So that's the thing with carbon, it doesn't quite age well. And another thing is, while doing the in-car entertainment that we're going to do, sound deadening is pretty important. I think it was built for lightweight, so There is some factory sound insulation and heat proofing that was done to the car, that is in the car, that we are maintaining, but we're just adding to that. There's a lot of flat panels in the car, and anyone knows if there's a lot of flat panels, you get a lot of resonance and things like that. Look, I'm no audiophile. I don't really even turn on the music that much, especially when I'm driving something as beautiful as this. Look, it's a V8. Most of the time, if I'm driving, it's just the volume is kept at minimal. And the beauty about it is most of my customers, I would say not most, I think all of them have the same thing. So blasting the music probably happens more like when we are stuck in traffic. That's when this music blasting happens, or we just listen to it more louder than what we normally are used to listening it to. So, but don't get me wrong, the components that are going in are still good. There are a lot of Morel speakers going in all around, Helix DSP and amplifier. We've got the focals for the underseat, and still have a sub at the back. So it's nothing too crazy, but more importantly, we don't want that heavy beating bass. It's just what we want is to hear, for it to be clear, and whatever we do even now would be epic, because the car was driven by, one is the wires that are factory in the vehicle will not be able to drive the speakers that we are putting in, so that has to be done as well. And we're trying to make sure the connectors that we use are as factory as possible, so if Joshua were to sell the car, whoever gets the car, will appreciate that we took the time to make sure, if they swap around things, it's convenient to do so. And that's just how we build the cars. We think about it in the very, very long run, just to make life easier. Also, if let's say for some reason Joshua doesn't come to me, goes to somebody else, and they take apart the car and they want to fix something, and it's just easier for them as well. So what else are we doing? The one thing that I would say in this whole build that we were doing was that I would slightly regret, was we went with KW V4 Clubsport. May have been a bit too aggressive on that one. Right now it's much better. Previously tires were the PS4S. Now it's on the PS5 a lot, and it's newer tires, so that itself helped a lot. Custom to meet the offset that we wanted, so we're not running spacers anymore. So it's just custom rims that are AC inspired. Brakes were fitted just nice to clear the 3-piece rim. So you all, I think everyone knows when you have a 3-piece rim and even 19-inch, seems like you can't clear very big brakes. So yeah, just suspension would have been it, but there is still a lot more settings that can be done. It's a very adjustable suspension, so we still can play around quite a bit. We still have a few more stages to go. The whole idea is just to make it a bit more comfortable, but I think by us doing a lot of sound deadening, sound heat proofing, just to make the car feel like I don't want to say posh. It's not posh, but it's more like complete or more firm. And like I said, when we did the bushings previously, I still don't want to go anything hard mount. Everything is still factory original BMW, and that was the route that we're going with. We just wanted everything to feel like how it felt, maybe coming out from the factory. Overall, really happy with how the interior turned out. So it just previously was black, now it's a dark tan, and the color scheme on it, the car was painted as well. It was a matte gray. I'm nothing against matte colors, but I just cannot understand or cannot brain colors that are with matte finish on an entire car. I mean, each to its own, I know, but like I don't know. I think maintenance isn't the best when you have cars like that. So yeah, a metallic finish is always something that I like, and I think it lasts pretty long as well. So looking at how far the car has come, it's actually really nice to see. And we're just in one of our final parts of doing the audio, so I thought I'd make a video of just telling how the entire journey was of building it, and why we do keep audio for the last. People do ask like, what brands do you prefer? Look, I work well with Pioneer as a head unit, because they fit a lot of the Land Cruisers that we built. They fit them very well. But honestly, if you go with any of the main brands and there's a good after sales support, you can't go wrong. Right now, the information is so much more readily available for everybody. So my advice to anybody building an audio setup would be head unit takes priority. Make sure put the money on that. After that would be speakers, and because the head unit would be able to drive most speakers, and only then you need to look into amps or whatnot. So yeah, that would be the level of looking into things. I'm gonna stop rambling. I really hope you enjoyed this update on Project Brotjäger, the E92 M3. I catch you guys on the next one. Alright, thank you.